Hello everybody, it is All Night, it is Brony time, and welcome back to Let's Play Angels with Scaly Wings. When we last left off, hold on, I want to save here real quick. When we last left off, we started our brand new run, and we are going for Anna's bad ending. And we had our first date, and we flirted. Well, it wasn't really a first date, it was like a break excursion. But after playing a trivia game where we both answered all of the questions correctly, we decided to actually go on a real date this time, outside the facility. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So without further ado, let's meet with Anna. And just on time. Now where is she? Hello? Hello? What's this? Looks like a message. Something came up at the last second. Wait for me. It shouldn't be too long. Anna. Guess at the last second is meant in a literal sense here, else she could have just called me. Guess we're playing the waiting game then. Okay, it's been like an hour, and my patience is slowly but surely running out. Wait, what? Wait, what? I'm so confused. Let's wait. I've already waited this long. I guess I can wait a little longer. I'm not sure who the world record holder for most patient person is, but now I feel like a contender. Still, no sign of her though. Let's just wait. Let's wait. Well, if she doesn't show up soon, I'm done. There you are. Where have you been all this time? Reading comprehension must not be your strong suit, because my note clearly said I'll be back soon. Note to self, the word soon now refers to the span of over 2 hours when waiting for a scheduled appointment. Has it really been that long? It certainly didn't feel like it. Alright, sorry for making you wait. Losing track of time happens to the best of us. It happens to me all the time. I guess we missed our movie. Can't we see the late screening or something? That was the late screening. The theater's closed now. Maybe we should reschedule. That won't work, at least not for me. Today was the only day I could leave early. I won't have another chance anytime soon. So what do we do now? Maybe the coffee place is still open? I don't know. Guess that's better than nothing. Closed as well. That's just peachy. Why do you keep working so late anyway? Because what I'm doing is important. You're doing cancer research, right? And who told you that? Damien, I stopped by your lab some time ago, but you weren't there. That shard-born bastard. What else did he tell you about me? Nothing much. The whole thing wasn't really about you anyway. I see. Sounds like you two don't get along that well. That's the understatement of the century. Being trapped in a small room with the likes of him for hours on end every day is a scenario born of a sick mind with the intention of making me suffer as much as possible. It certainly doesn't make my research any easier. Stress probably doesn't help you either. It's not worth jeopardizing your health over. Don't overwork yourself. You can't save anyone if you're dead. If I don't find a cure, no one else will. No one else can. Besides, I was only late today because I got your stupid blood work ready. You have the test results? Yeah, want to know what I have to say about them? Definitely. Okay, how much do you know about genetics? A little bit, I guess. Don't worry. I'll put it into words that are easy for you to understand. To start off, I found that on average, about 90% of your genes are homologous to our species' genes. That may seem like a lot, but to put it into perspective, about 50% of your DNA is also shared with fruit. To further elaborate, you and your human neighbor back home are probably around 99.9% genetically similar. If you compare the various sentient species we have here to each other, it would be around 95 to 97% similar. As for what exactly that tells us, though a match of 90% sounds like a lot, it's not as much as you might think. Still, for two beings from a different world altogether, that's quite remarkable. Beyond DNA, the biggest similarity between us is within the brain structure. That's not surprising, considering our high-level cognitive abilities. That'll surprise Maverick. What do you mean? He doesn't seem to like humans very much. I'm sure he'll be displeased to know how similar we are. Oh, he doesn't like anyone, really. He's just like me in that way. Yeah, you two would make a great couple. You're a little late for that. I'm already his ex-girlfriend. Really? How'd that go? Not how you might think. It actually went pretty well, for a while at least. But in the end, we both got too absorbed in our jobs until we realized we had drifted apart too much. I figured it would be better if we just broke up. I still respect him for the work he does. I mean, we even used to solve crime together. I'd be in the lab running tests, and he'd be out in the field chasing after the perps. Those were good times. I guess nowadays he just chases after me. What? I don't know, maybe I shouldn't say that, but if you know him, maybe you can help me out. I certainly can't help you if you don't tell me what's going on. Okay, but this is just between us, alright? Sure, whatever. Maverick is convinced that I'm the accomplice of a crime. He made a point to tell me that he's searching for proof to legally arrest me, or worse. Oh, I wouldn't worry about that. Really? It's nothing. He can't find any proof that doesn't exist. So it doesn't feel nice to be threatened and stopped, especially by someone like him. That's just him. He gets way too into it once he sets his sights on something. I noticed. It's his job. What do you expect? I wish he'd just leave me alone. He wasn't always like this, you know. A couple of years ago, he was assigned to this one case. He was still relatively new on the force, young and eager to help. Then reality came crashing down on him. There's a serial killer who shook up the whole town. The victims were apparently eaten. We later found out the killer's actions were the result of a degenerative disease, which brought his feral nature to the foreground. At this point, he was just a wild animal, turned into a cannibal that hunted under the shadow of night. Everyone in town was up in arms, terrified that they'd be next. The police did everything they could. A curfew was instated and patrols guarded the streets at night. Then they found him munching on his fifth victim. Poor little Maverick was not prepared for what he would find. Stand back, Maverick. I'll handle this. Miles? It was his brother. Step away from the body, Miles. Miles couldn't comprehend their words, and only saw rivals who wanted to take away his prey, and he wasn't about to just let it go without a fight. Miles raised his head from his kill, blood dripping from his maw. The officer's breaths were smothered by the deathly stillness of the night. Fangs bared, the feral dragon snarled, and stood strong in front of his meal, prepared to protect it from the two who intruded upon his territory. Whatever this is, Miles, it's over. Don't make it worse now. In an instant, Miles was upon Bryce. They clashed in a flurry of teeth and claws. Miles had the advantage with his small frame, quick movements, and Bryce could not get a clear hit in. It all happened so fast that Maverick didn't know what to do. He went on the ground, and Bryce ended up on his back, a helpless turtle. Miles pinned him and clamped his jaws on his neck. Bryce's claws were the only thing preventing Miles from biting down. They were slipping, slick with blood and quivering with fatigue, as he tried to push him off. For a brief moment, Bryce thought he'd meet his end, when the jaws suddenly relaxed, and he was able to dislodge them. When he looked up, he saw that Maverick had managed to get Miles from behind. He bit through his brother's neck from above. Blood flowed down Maverick's jaws and over Miles' lifeless body. Bryce had been saved, but the young dragon wore a wide-eyed, empty stare. Maverick blamed himself for not taking better care of his brother. He knew Miles had problems, and he was taking medication for it, but he wished he could have done more to help him. The medication wasn't the right one, by the way. Maverick takes solace in the fact that he was able to save Bryce, but he's never been the same since that incident. Now he scrutinizes everyone and everything. I'm not sure how that's supposed to help me. It doesn't, but now you know why he is how he is. It's not unusual for him to act like this, so you might just have to wait it out. Anyway, let's get back to your test results. Since you were so interested, did you want a copy of them? Yeah, I'd appreciate that. No problem. I heard you also wanted Reese's blood. Of course, I invited him over too. That was before you arrived here. And I thought, well, we have a special. Oh, it is. Reese was too stuck up to agree to everything. You wouldn't even participate in an exhilarating round of trivia board games? Not even that. Can you believe it? I can almost see the sarcasm dripping from your mouth. Still, it's kind of a shame. It would have been interesting to compare your blood to his. What a shame indeed. Let's just enjoy a romantic date in the back alley of a coffee shop. Of course. Unless you want to take this someplace else. What, you don't like hanging around dirty back alleyways? I prefer someplace inside. Hey, I bet you never had a date in an alley before. I haven't. Not sure I ever wanted to. What's your sense of adventure? Oh, hang on. There it is. Yes, I can feel the adventure kicking in. I'm getting kind of hungry. I figured we'd be having a meal on our date. What, can you go a few hours without having to stuff your face? I could offer you a handful of dirt if that's to your taste, Will. I already have my own dirt. Sorry, but I already have my own dirt. Oh, really? What kind of dirt would that be? Only the finest governmentally funded dirt from Tatsu Park. Your filthy back alley stuff has nothing on this. You win this round. Either way, a side dish would be nice. I know this one place that never closes. Let's go there. Sure. After several minutes of walking, Anna led me to the outskirts of town. We arrived at a farmhouse on one side, fields stretched to the horizon, and on the other were lush, green hills, fenced populations of animals. What kind of restaurant is this supposed to be? Self-serve. You're a bad girl, Anna. I know. How well can you hunt? Me, even if I knew how, it's not like I have any equipment here. Equipment? What a sissy. You got hands and teeth. What more do you need? A long-range weapon, maybe? Like fire. Suppose even you can make use of that. Alright, since I'm apparently the only one capable of acquiring food, I'll be right back. And I walked over to the fenced enclosure of the animals that reminded me of sheep. She crouched and squeezed herself through the bars, after which I lost sight of her. Waiting game 2.0 start. It only took a couple of minutes for her to return, dragging one of the animals behind her with now bloody jaws and hands. Dinner's ready. What kind of animal is this? It's called a mouflon. Anyway, do you have a part you prefer? See how nice I am? I'm even letting you choose first. Awful. Good choice. Using one of her claws, she skinned the dead mouflon and divided it into various pieces. Do you want yours grilled or raw? Grilled. Unless prepared properly, raw meat carries a significant risk of diseases for us. How inept can your species even be? You can't hunt on your own and you need tools and help at every step? You don't even have claws to cut things up. I'm not sure how you could have survived in the wild. Seriously, what god did you piss off to end up like that? I have no idea. It's kind of sad when you look at it from that perspective. So many different species have so many amazing natural abilities that it seems like we got the bad end of the deal. We always held on to the fact that we had our brains and intellect. But now that we found you, that doesn't really make us unique anymore. Mother Nature has been so cruel to your race that I almost feel sorry for you. She opened her maw and wide before a liquid shot from both corners of her mouth and onto the ground below the parts of the mouflon she had prepared. For a few seconds, the liquid burst into flame, heating up our dinner. That's a neat trick. I bet you wish you could do that, huh? That would be wicked cool. Right? It comes in handy. How does that work anyway? Don't you ever burn your mouth? Not at all. There are actually two different components. They only catch on fire when a sufficient quantity of both is present. Interesting. The flames weakened and grew smaller until they were out, relieving a steamy, appetizing piece of meat. Help yourself! I grabbed a piece, but it dropped as soon as I felt my heat on my fingertips. Ouch, that's still hot. Can't take a little heat, huh? That's too bad. Looking by its temperature, she took a piece in her hand, tore a chunk out of it with her teeth, and started chewing. Guess your scales are a good insulator. Evidently so. How does it taste? Just wonderful. Stolen goods always taste the best. I can already picture the old farmer reduced to tears after he discovered one of his precious mouflons is gone. You're a wild one, Anna. Thanks. I could teach you a thing or two. I think it'd be cool enough for your sensitive little fingers now. Carefully, I grabbed one of the pieces, which by now had indeed cooled down enough not to burn me anymore, and took a bite. It was a little bland, I had to admit, but not bad for something that was alive less than an hour ago, and prepared in the wild. How do you like your muflun a la Anna? Feel like a wild animal. Quite the difference from sitting in an expensive restaurant and using their fancy cutlery and napkins, isn't it? Yeah, I like it. How don't you just go out and hunt on your own? Only when necessary, or when I feel like it. I still go to fancy restaurants because I can afford it, but they don't mean much to me. For me, it's all about the experience, and one isn't necessarily better than the other. I can see your point. That was unusual. This was unusual, but fun. I can see your point. This certainly isn't how I thought the evening would go. But it was pretty fun. Anyways, I'm stuffed. Me too. There's still plenty left over. What are we going to do with it all? We can just leave it here. Hey, maybe the old farmer will help himself to it. How nice of us to leave some for him. Yeah, he should pay me for cooking him such a nice meal. We should probably leave before that senile has-been wakes up from his evening nap. Yeah, let's go. Well, that was interesting. Wait a minute, I've got something for you. Here you go. Your test results. Black on white. Black on white. Thanks. But did you really need to spend all the extra time getting this done today? I just wanted to get it over with when I had the chance. Maybe we should start thinking about not working so late on a regular basis. It might do you some good, Anna. You know, I think you have a point. I haven't been feeling like myself lately. There are various reasons for that, but working too much might be one. Today was kind of fun, so maybe I should make it my effort to get out every once in a while. Speaking of which, now that our date is officially over, we should talk about your end of the deal, of course. There's an opening soon where I can fit you in. I'll call you with all the details. I shall be looking forward to that. If I go on today, I guess I can do whatever. Oop. Sorry, some open that shouldn't have been open. Don't worry about it. I still think it was a nice evening. 5%. I can help you clean up. Thank you, Will. And higher spirits. Passion. Not him. Yep, it's her assistant now because we got her to her third date. Okay. What should I do? Well, we've already got the map down here. We've already got pretty much the majority of what we need for a good ending. We just need Anna's cancer diagnosis, and I think that will be it. To get the good ending, so, yep, perfect. Let's visit the production facility. I think I did this originally. Hey, Will! Lorem, right? Yep. Did you get a chance to think about what I told you last time? Don't worry, I didn't lose your number. They keep me pretty busy, so I don't really have much free time. Well, if anything changes, give me a call. I will. I gotta go now, so take care. You too. It should be the right place. Hey, Will, I didn't even call you about the test yet. To what do I owe you the honor? I have a few questions about the murder of your colleague. Is that so? Why do you get to go around asking questions like that? Is it a matter of human interest? Actually, yes, you could say so. Interesting. What's in it for me? Hey, I already agreed to your test. I'm not sure what else I could offer you. Besides, I'm working with the police, so your cooperation would be greatly appreciated. Oh, you're working for our police? Now you really have my attention. I want to see where you're going with this, so by all means, go ahead. What happened the last time you saw him alive? Saw him yesterday evening. There were some tests I needed to run overnight, so instead of staying late to set them up, I had Damien do it. That's what colleagues are for, right? Can you tell me what happened when you found them? I might have left early yesterday, but I made it up for it by coming in early today, before anyone else. That's why I was the one to find him. I was on my way to my office when I saw him lying in the middle of the hallway, in a puddle of his own blood. What's your relationship to him? We were colleagues, nothing more. I heard that you didn't particularly like him. Yeah, but that's not unusual. I don't like most people. He really didn't like me, though. Why's that? He was jealous of my success, and it showed. It's very common for someone a colleague was just murdered. People die every day. It's a simple fact of life. Besides, I don't see you crying about him either. I didn't know him that well, so it's not like someone I actually cared about died. The world stops spinning for no one. Life goes on, and for me, that means being without an assistant for a while. That's all. That would be all. Thank you, Anna. My pleasure. Time to head back. Interrogate Anna. Well done, Will. Before deciding my next move, I returned to my apartment for a moment of rest. A small piece of paper slipped under my door. I was gone. Do not go to the portal, was all it said. I considered the possibility of a hidden message, but that was unlikely. The statement was blunt and quickly scrawled. Okay, they've already seen this. Yeah, already seen this. I don't remember if we saved Vara last time. Oh, it's her again. Says again, then I can't help you. I can't refill this one. We're just about to close, so you'll have to bring that right one tomorrow. Hello, Will. How can I help you? Actually, I'm just about to close up here, so please make it quick. I'm here on behalf of the police, and I was hoping that you'd answer a few questions. I see. Well, I don't mind as long as you make it quick. I have to leave for my other job soon. Vera, what are you still doing here? I already told you you have to come back tomorrow. Here, have a lolly on the house. Guess she doesn't want it. What's the deal with her? I'm not sure what's up with her lately. This is the first time this has happened. One time the doctor forgets to issue a new prescription, another time she brings me an expired one instead of a new one. She isn't exactly the brightest, but this is unusual even for her. So what did you want to know? Actually, excuse me, sorry, but we'll have to do this another time, if you say so. She hadn't gotten too far, so I followed her from a distance. Minutes passed as we walked through the streets, moving through an unfamiliar part of town. The young dragon looked small and lonely on the empty road. Before long, we passed the village border, yet she pressed on and stepped into the forest. I turned back at once to gaze at the village on the far horizon. In an instant, the dragon was gone. I rushed to the spot I'd seen her last, and finally entered to a cave on the hillside. When I peered inside, I saw Vera alongside a much larger orange dragon. The small dragon filled a bowl with a thick fluid and placed it in front of the other. Then she placed her hands on the large dragon's chin. Gently, she lifted its huge muzzle, guided toward the bowl. But when she released it, the dragon's head slumped and fell into the liquid. The bowl tumbled sideways and spilled its contents across the cave floor. Oh man. I realized then that other than what Var had done, the orange dragon had moved all it since I arrived. How did you even find out about this? I could tell something was wrong, so I followed her. I see. Well, good job, Will. What's going to happen to her now? She'll be sent to the orphanage. The background check determined that she had a father, but the two hadn't seen each other in years. Can't you locate him? We did. He's the second victim. The maintenance guy. That was him. I see. How did he even get this far? I don't know, but we'll certainly look into it. Some just fall through the cracks of the system. Being out here on their own probably didn't help. Do many of you people live outside the town like this? Well, some do it on principle, others because they have no other choice. Houses and apartments can be expensive. It's not unusual for us to use natural environments as our homes. Alright, I think we're done here for now. Don't forget to stop by the apartment later. I won't. It's getting late. I better head to the police station now. Do I have everything? Alright, let's see what Sebastian will say to this. It's payday, Will. Tests are ready, the machines are ready, the lab is free. Only one more thing is needed to get this party started. That would be you. So you better bring your body to me, or else I'll have to come get it myself, in which case I won't be able to guarantee your safety. I hope you aren't afraid of needles. She's going to go all out, isn't she? Well, we should be reaching the end of the episode here. Well, not really. We do have some time left. But once again, dates do take up a considerable amount of time, and I don't really like ending an episode in the middle of a date. I feel like it's too abrupt for you guys and for me. But, yeah, so there we have it. We had another interesting interaction. Second date with Anna, it was nice. Got us some Maverick lore. At least we understand why Maverick is the way he is, like Anna said. I love these two's chemistry, though. This is one of my favorite romances. That just this Bryce and Adine, like, oh, just perfect chemistry. Well, not so much Adine, but like Anna and Bryce, man, they are the Riz masters. Like, they both got me with just that. And I love the kind of like relationship, the kind of like sarcastic banter, the flirty banter. Once again, just perfect fits and probably one of the more, I would say, canon. Like, well, if there was to be a canon, this is a harem. But if it was to be canon, Anna's probably like one of the ones where I'm like, Anna and Bryce, I'm like, oh yeah, I see these two together at the end of the day. But that's just my kind of opinion. So I want to know what you guys really think. But this will probably be the last recording for this session. So it may be a little bit before I continue. We'll see. But I do have other things that I have to do, even if I am on vacation. And I have some errands to run, and I'll probably call it a day on recording. Maybe I'll record some more tonight. Who knows? But thank you all for watching. Please do like, comment, and subscribe to Bonnie Time for more content, especially more Angels with Scaly Wings. Also, please make sure to share this video far and wide so we get as many eyes on this series as possible. I will see you all next time.